Hey guys, it's John of Acosta Productions. Today I just wanted to kind of touch base on something I've been getting a lot of emails about. What I really want to talk to you about is how you really get into that moment where you become a video producer. Now, the reason I say that is because most of us that are watching this at this point have full-time jobs or part-time jobs. We're trying to figure ourselves out in life, or trying to make sense of where we go from here. And hopefully I've been at least a little bit of a catalyst to make what you've always wanted to do more of a reality. And that's kind of my mission in life, is to make that happen for you so that you can go out and do the same thing that I've done in the past. The problem though is that it's not always that easy. I mean, I can talk for hours about gear and equipment and how you do it, but when it comes down to it, how do you really move from that 9-to-5 life that you actually have currently to the life that you really want, where you become your own boss, where you set your own hours, where you take your own clients and you charge whatever the hell you want to charge? How do you do that? And that's a really good question, and I'm glad you guys have all asked that. And so I wanted to kind of get on camera today and just discuss a little bit of how that happens. It's all about mindset. It's all about really getting yourself in the zone where you become that person that you've always wanted to be. And honestly, it takes putting yourself out there. It takes literally putting yourself in a position where you cannot run back, where you cannot escape. You know, like a child that will run back to its mother because she's standing right behind him, or a kid that jumps onto a bike for the first time without the training wheels. You know, I know when I learned how to ride a bike without the training wheels, my dad gradually pulled them up and up until they were not touching the ground anymore, and that was great as a kid. But when it comes to adulthood and it comes to an adult life and trying to be your own boss and trying to own your own business, it doesn't work that way. You can't just slowly take off those training pads until they're totally gone. You have to literally take the carpet and just pull it out from under you. Take that rug and pull it and just see what happens. Because worst case scenario, you apply for a new job, or you go back to the job that you respectfully left in general. Take my example. I used to work for Apple full-time. I was one of the best employees in my store. I was actually transferred to another store to make that store better because I was that good at my job at selling Mac and Apple products, and I was fantastic at it. You know, and that's great. I loved it. I loved the job. The pay was amazing. But I saw myself going up this ladder that you call retail. It's just glorified retail. And I notched myself at management in a retail position in a mall, where when it comes to holidays and when it comes to selling iPods and iPads and, you know, iMacs, Jesus Christ, it was just a headache, because all you have to deal with at that point, at that top-notch point, is just management, customer conditioning, customer satisfaction, trying to not let people rip you a new asshole when you're trying to calm them down over some product that didn't work out for them or it wasn't what they thought it was. Bottom line, you get to a point in your life where you see the max potential and you decide that's not going to be what I want in the near future. I'm not going to be able to retire on this happily. I'm only going to be happy when I'm 65 years old, lying on my deathbed at this point, or, you know, old enough to not be able to do anything fun. Who wants to retire that old in all reality? I mean, we live in the 21st century now. You can do whatever you want to. The internet is your best friend because you have the ability to talk to the entire world. So why position yourself in a place where you're in a local area code, only talking to X amount of people that you're essentially working for on a higher corporate level, and you're dealing with these people with their problems, or you're getting faced with bullshit every single day, and you're not making the money you deserve for being able to deal with this kind of stuff. All right, why not just fuck all of that and excuse the grammar, excuse the language and the French and all that, but why not just escape all of that and make yourself your own boss and work on your own terms, work on your own price, work on your own goddamn company, okay? Take what you believe in and just create it, make it yourself, mold it yourself, make it your own. Take this life that you have and make it yours. That's what I did. I quit Apple after working there for 4 years and being the top-notch person that I was there, and I quit it all with a mortgage that I bought when I was 23 years old. I signed my life away for 30 years on a mortgage and decided to go ahead and just quit my job, just up and leave with a great 401k, with the great pension, with the great great stock options. And I did that all, and I was left in the dust to just spend for myself. What was I to do? Well, here's what you do in that sense. Here's what you do at that point. You take the rug, you pull it out from under you, and you run with it. Okay? You just run off. You do what you have to do, and thankfully, you know someone like myself that can help you out in this position, that can help you out in kind of figuring out the situation that I'm trying to put you in, where you have that fire under your ass and you're going to run with it. because you know from the bottom of your heart that you have something more passionate to tell than just a 9-to-5 job and telling a client or a customer, nonetheless, how their product doesn't work and you can't give them a refund and I'm sorry, and they're going to get pissed off and talk to your manager who's the same person as you. They're human and they're going to have to deal with the same thing, but they have more superiority. So whatever. Bottom line, you don't want to be that guy anymore. You don't want to be that girl anymore. You don't want to do that anymore. What you want to do is be your own person. You want to take responsibility for what you create, and if you screw up, it's your fault at that point. It sounds scary, but it's also extremely enlightening and extremely cool to know that you're the guy that created or destroyed such product, X product, Y product. My biggest tip to you today is to take whatever job you have right now and start setting yourself a deadline so that you can become the person you want to be and have the job that you really want, not the job you currently have. Okay? So take what you believe in, take what you love, take what you know, telling stories, telling them visually, if that's what you want. If not, if it's a sewing company, if it's creating t-shirts for a living, if it's I don't know, having your own cooking channel, whatever it may be. Okay, just start taking the first steps to that. Now, hopefully, if we're in the same industry here, I've given you some tips to make that happen, and we'll go further into how you can create your own broadcasting channel on YouTube and make it successful and all that later on. But the first step really is to ultimately just set a deadline for yourself. Tell yourself, this is the moment I'm going to leave. This is the moment I'm going to take control of my life, and this is the moment where it's going to start happening. Set that deadline. Make it 2 months. Make it 3 months. Don't make it more than 4. Okay? After 4 months, you start believing in bullshit. Okay? You set a deadline. You put it in your calendar. You put it in your iCal. Whatever type of situation or scenario you live to and you respond to, set it so that when that date comes, you are prepared, and you take that deadline and you run with it. Okay? And if it means putting a 2-week notice in 2 weeks before that deadline, you do it. Because if you don't, you're not going to do it, okay? And bottom line is, if you want something that bad, you will have it in life. Ultimately, this is your life. It's yours to own. It's yours to have. It's yours to glorify. It's yours to appreciate and enjoy. So don't sit there and tell me that you want something, but you can't because of X, Y, Z, okay? Because the bottom line is, if you want it that bad, you'll get it. And if you don't, well, you didn't want it that bad to begin with. Famous quote I've heard from many professors in my lifetime. And it's true. And it's what I took into consideration when I did what I did, and it's what you're going to do when you're about to do what you do next. Okay, my biggest tip to you today, and the whole reason for this entire video, is to motivate you to do that. Set your deadline right now. Okay? Next week, we're going to come back, and we're going to revisit that deadline, as well as give you extra tips and steps to go forward with this, okay, to get you prepared. Set your deadline 2 months from now, okay, if that makes you comfortable. If you're feeling frisky, go for a month, okay, because a month is a good amount of time. But set that deadline. I'll be back with you next week to discuss how we can move forward on whatever it is I profess in video. So obviously we'll be talking about that. But whatever it is that you want to do, I hope I've at least touched you and helped you move forward in whatever it is that you want. I'll be back next week with some more tips on that, and we'll talk about how you move forward from there. But set your deadline tonight, or today, or this morning, whatever. And I'll see you next week. Talk to you soon.